After the game last Saturday, Scott Brown said he thought that the cushion you had over the strugglers at the bottom was probably going to be sufficient. Do you think he's right?
Doesn't matter what he thinks. It's about getting more points. You know, we've got 5 games, 15 points to play for, and we want as many as we can. We're in a decent enough position as we're not, in the sense that we're not right down there. We're not right in the mix now, and we've got to make sure that stays the same. And 3 points will go a long way towards that on Saturday.
Yeah, this is the chance, isn't it, to get A to the 50-point mark that people perceive to be absolute safety, and equally to probably put yourself right out of range.
Yeah, we've got to make sure. We've got to make sure that's not even an issue, and we've just got to focus on Burton and then move on after that, and you know, not be satisfied with where we are, not be complacent, but just focused on getting 3 points, and what will be will be.
They've got, I think, what was it, 1 win in 10. I mean, from your scouting reports, do they look a fragile bunch?
They've got some good players. They've got some. They can attack you, particularly at home. Me, Neil and George have seen them lately, and they've got some good players. And why they're down there, I don't know. But it's not my concern. And all my concern is making sure that the group that I take there Saturday are ready for it and start the game well and do a good professional job. You know, we can't be concerned about them in terms of, you know, where they are in the league. You know, this time last year we were in exactly the same boat and fighting for it. So we'll be aware of that. But we've got to try and impose ourselves and make sure that we pick up 3 points.
Surely can't be as crazy as last year, can it?
Let's hope not. Let's hope for the same result, but in less frantic circumstances.
I mean, 6-5 clearly was a crazy game, but Burton do play an open sort of style, don't they?
Yeah, they do, and you know, so have we. So it should be an entertaining game. For me, you know, they've got some good players, and I know that their workload's been a hell of a lot since the turn of the year with all their postponements earlier on, and you know, I've seen, you know, they've been playing week in, week out for 2 games a week for 9-10 weeks now, so it's got to take its toll, and we've got to make sure we go there and take advantage of it.
Neil made the point about the pitch there being probably one of the best surfaces in the division at this time of the season, so actually that might be
that'll certainly suit us.
A pleasure for you.
Yeah, that'll certainly suit us. You know, it's no coincidence that we play our better stuff on decent pitches, so it's all set up for a decent game. You know, both sides like to attack, both sides quite open, but we've got to do everything we can to make sure that we perform like we did on Saturday and take it even further and try and pick up 3 points.
You played Theo Lewis in the County Cup game a bit further forward in the week, and he did score 2 goals.
Yeah.
And when he was initially in the youth team at the club, he played in that role. Have you had a thought about playing him further forward in the first team? Yeah,
it's something we think about. You know, with Jeff out at the moment, we've probably got the 3 options, and we'll pick a team that's ready for whatever's right for Saturday. You know, he did well the other night. We know he can do that role, so it's another option for us.
Is a boy of his age still developing into a player where you're not quite sure what his best position is?
Yeah, perhaps Theo's. It's because he has ability. You know, he's got ability and he can play. He's not a natural centre midfield player. He's not a natural forward, but he can do both jobs very well and other jobs. So it can be a hindrance to a player, or it can be a positive for a player. And you know, he's got to. You know, when he gets his opportunity again, I'm sure he will. He's got to grasp the nettle and make sure he stays in the team.
You mentioned Jeff, Keith Lowe also out. Do you think that we're going to see either of those 2 this season now?
I don't think we'll see Keith. I think Jeff's got a good chance, yeah, but we'll just see. You know, we're playing it game by game, you know, day by day with them. Doubtful. Jeff's a strong possibility. We're hopeful that Jeff can come back for the last couple of games. But you know, that's life. Being a footballer, you know, we've got a small squad. We've worked on a small squad all season, and we've had to manage injuries. I think the physio department and the staff have done a really good job in making sure everyone's fit and strong and healthy, and have been able to play as many games as they have. You know, and eventually injuries do take their toll, and you just have to get on with it. And like I said, we're not moaning about it. You know, with the fact we've got a squad of about 15, 16 players at the minute, that's just got to get on with it. You know, you won't hear anybody complaining. and we've known the situation, and we'll just, like I say, we'll do the best we can with what we've got.
You were hopeful that Josh Lowe might be around for this Saturday. Is that
and still hopeful, yeah, still hopeful. But again, we won't rush him back if he's not right. You know, we won't. We really need him for the last 4 games. If he misses one more game, then so be it. But there's a possibility he could be on the bench.
Okay, thank you.
Mark, you got the same amount of points as you finished on last season. So do you think anything else you pick up now is the measurement of progress, or is there a bit more to it than just points?
Yeah, there's a bit more to it than that. I think we're better than this time last year. But I think we've come off it and not picked up the points and the way we've played since January, end of January really. So I think the club's in a better shape. I think, you know, with what went on over the summer, and you know, with bringing in a new batch of players, I think we're in a better shape. Like I said before, I think the club's financially in a better shape, and hopefully it's the first building block towards the plan to get the club back in the right direction. We're moving that way, and like I said all along, we want as many points as we can in the next 5 games to really get us focused on next season.
Yeah, talking of building blocks, what's the latest with the contracts? Because the chairman's come out and said that a couple of players are going to be offered contracts. I mean, is there things going on behind the scenes all the time?
Yeah, of course there are. Yeah, of course there are.
Yeah. Is there anything likely to be tied up soon, or do you think it will go on till?
I've spoken to a couple of the players about a couple of things, but you know, when it happens, it'll happen. You know, and we'll see where we go in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah. How are the 3 young lads doing that you're having a look at?
Yeah, not bad. I mean, you saw Ethan the other day. You seen what he's about. He can score goals. He can't play in the first team games at the moment, so which in the situation we're in is a bit of a blow. He would have been a decent young lad on a bench. You know, Fulke's been on the bench and will continue to do so until we well, for the remainder of the season, hopefully for his part, and we'll just keep having a look at the 3 of them.
Yeah. Do they have to be ready for next season first team, or can you afford to have a couple of players who are just developing? And
I don't know yet. I don't know. We'll that's something I've got to sort out with the chairman, and when I get my budget for next season, then that's something that I've got to take into consideration.
Yeah.
Just one more for me. There was a post on the internet about Laurie McMenemy at Southampton building 3 sides in his time there as manager. Did you think that when you signed the group last year that it almost might be stage 1 of 2, in the sense that there might be some that were right, some that weren't quite, and you have to have another go?
I think when you get
on.
What I will say on that is when you sign, for instance, like we say 12 new faces to the squad last season, plus, you know, a few of the boys that would have been here last season, you're not going to get every one of them 100% right. You know that, and I'm not saying we've got players wrong, but it's never going to be easy to sign 20 players and things go smooth right from day one, and to continue that. You know, I always saw it as a building block, a stepping stone. A stepping stone to get even better next season. You know, don't get me wrong. I wanted success this season. I wanted to drive the players and to keep that momentum going that they had earlier in the season. But that's when your small squads. We've got a lot of players who this is the first time they've ever played 30 games, 35 games in a season, and it's been a big ask for them. And I'm sure one thing for sure is that they'll be a damn sight better next season for the experience.